Okay, hello and welcome back to the Terratron Ultimate Iron Man progress. I actually there's a lot of ground to cover in this episode. It's the first real episode as well. I wasn't sure how long of a video to do, but I ended up doing a long one, so here we are. And I'm trying to up the production quality a lot. I've done like 5 takes of this recording because I'm not very good at talking to myself. Maybe that's a good sign. But starting out here just with me alching wrath runes at Sepulchre, which is what I was doing a while ago as I'm recording. And here I was alching wrath runes for magic XP, which was to get from 77 to 84 magic, which was to unlock Magic Imbue, Carolanger Telly, and to be able to boost for a Calvar'ion portal in my house. And the reasons I wanted Magic Imbue was to get passive cheap magic XP while I'm doing mining and hunter down the road, because it's better to zero time your magic if you can. That way when you start Slayer, you have Barrage unlocked, which is obviously a big upgrade over Burst. So that is the goal for when I'm doing mining and hunter. And I needed Carolanger teleport for Calvar'ion, which I plan to do before mining as well, soon coming up here. And the Calvar'ion teleport, well, the portal for it, will be used for herb runs, so that one's going to be useful basically forever, or at least for the foreseeable future. And this is all serving in purpose, or serving towards the goal of getting towards 99 mining, which is the next long grind I'm going to be doing on the account. And fast forwarding here, like 30 seconds, I just finished the lap of Sepulchre I was doing, and I finished my wrath runes I was alching along with it. So here in one moment here, I'll open up the bag. So I just want to show off what the looting bag looks like here starting out in this video. At this point, I'm kind of just holding on to a lot of stuff that's very easy to get rid of. I've got lots of herbs that I'm going to process here, as well as some Sepulchre bolts over there, and way too many seeds, because I have 6 seeds in the bag as well as a full seed box, so that's going to be cut down soon here, and then I will have a lot more space to work with. And one thing that I wanted to spend a little bit more time explaining, because I thought it would be a little bit interesting here, is why I chose to alch wrath runes, because it wasn't a quick process deciding on wrath runes, and I personally have never seen anybody else alch wrath runes. I'm not sure if it's the best thing in the world, but it felt, looking at the math, it seemed pretty good for where I was at. So obviously I'm going to use high alch for magic XP because you can cast it while you're running, so you can do things like Sepulchre while you're alching. Usually it's Sepulchre, at least for the purposes of this account. And of course, to cast high alch, you need an item to high alch, and there's an inherent cost behind using high alch, which is the nature rune it costs. And I already have a lot of natures from Guardians of the Rift, but it's ideal to not burn one nature if I don't have to, or rather at least get some money out of it, because each nature rune costs 90 GP if you're comparing it to the amount of money you would get selling it back to Ali Morrisane. So when we're looking for an item to alch, we want something that's stackable or noted, because I mean that's basically required, easy to get with a value that is 90 or higher. And the first items that I looked at were things that I already have a lot of, which is rune stacks mostly, the stuff from Guardians of the Rift. So there was death runes, chaos runes, law runes, blood runes, and nature runes. And chaos, death, and nature are all not good at all. Like, you don't even need to do any math. You can look at the value and say this is not worth alching. However, law runes and blood runes were a little bit more questionable, so I ran the math on whether those are good. And the main thing you need to consider when you're doing the calculation on alching runes is whether you value them at their buy price or sell price. So what that means is that you can either buy a rune or sell it, of course. You can buy it from, Baba Yaga, Wizard's Guild, Wilderness, wherever it may be. And if you are more likely, or if you're going to need to buy that rune, you probably buy it or value it at buy price. And if you're going to sell any of that rune you get, you value it at sell price. So it's very easy to figure out sometimes. but it's something you need to know because the buy price is almost always much higher. So law runes are universally pretty much valued at sell price, which is 120 GP, and they alch for 144 GP, which means you're using one nature rune and one law rune to get 144 GP back. So that's about 66 GP spent per alch effectively, which is 1 GP to XP. So those were looking pretty good upon a first look. So I was definitely considering alching law runes after looking at that, but I also wanted to check out blood runes because I know some of my friends have alched blood runes on their low-level Ironmans. So I did the math for both buy price and sell price for blood runes because I think there's a good argument for both depending on how you're going to play. Although for me personally, I value blood runes at buy price because I think that I will never sell blood runes on this account. So a blood rune valued at buy price is 400 GP because that's what it costs to make a blood rune at the Scar Essence. Before Scar Essence, it would be like 450. So the Scar Essence is actually a buff in this regard. And the sell price is 200. And then of course you have to include the 90 GP for the nature rune, and that came out to minus 50 GP if you value them at sell price, and 250 GP if you value them at buy price. So if you value blood runes at sell price, they're actually pretty good to alch. I would definitely do that, if you have no other alternatives. And if you value them at buy price, it's minus 250, which is a lot worse. So for me, blood runes were off the table as far as alching. So at that point, I was okay with law runes, but it was still losing me money. So I decided to look around for other items, and I stumbled upon wrath runes, which have a 300 gold alch price, and you can craft about 8,000 per hour roughly, assuming once you already have the pure essence, that's like quite a few runes. I only needed 20,000 alchs to get to the level I needed, so that was only a couple hours of RC. And that uses 5,000 pure essence because you get more runes than essence you use because of the RC outfit. And so I also needed to consider the time. I needed to consider the time to get the essence, as well as the time to make the runes, because I don't have essence just from randomly playing the game, because of course, you drop stuff as an ultimate. So the method I used to get the pure essence was the Scar Essence Mine, which is roughly 10,000 pure essence per hour. At least that's the rate on the wiki. I don't really know if it's 100% right. I kind of just AFK'd it, so wasn't much. I didn't put much stake in that, which would put the runes per hour, including the time to get the essence, at about 5,333, which after factoring in the nature rune cost and alching them is about 1.5 million GP per hour. So I thought that 1.5 million raw GP per hour for the stage of the game I'm in was pretty good. So that is why I went ahead with wrath runes. And I thought it was a very fun question to solve, because while I would have been fine if I alched law runes, I got to learn something new about the alch price of wrath runes, and I got to do some wrath RC for money, which might be a first. Maybe somebody's done it before me, but I thought it was pretty interesting. It's like one of the things I really enjoy about playing an ultimate is doing weird stuff like that and it feeling like you're not trolling. Yeah. And then actually looking at the video now, at this point, this is just me making the potions I had, or making potions with the herbs I had in my bag at the time. So I had some attack potions to make, some prayer potions to make, some energy potions, and fishing potions. I ended up regretting making fishing potions with the Avanto later because I went and did Calvar'ion right after. It was kind of lacking some foresight there, but it is what it is. So I ended up keeping the super attacks and the prayer potions, and I was originally planning on doing barb lore with both the energy potions and the fishing potions, but I only used the fishing potions because I thought, well, I already have these energy potions, I might as well keep them for later, because I'm going to need some form of energy restore for when I'm doing 99 agility. Yeah, I might end up doing barb lore with them anyways, considering the Mortmire fungus that Calvar'ion gives, but I haven't exactly decided what to do with them yet, so I'm just holding on to them for now, and because they're not really getting my way. And after I used up all the fishing potions doing barb lore, I went and wizard mind bomb boost to make the Calvar'ion portal in the house, as well as putting some stuff in the Nexus. It was definitely Carolanger, and I think the other thing was Waterbirth Island, because I had to pick up some snape grass to make some of my prayer potions. Yeah, there it is, right there. Yeah, and then after this I geared up for Calvar'ion, which you will see soon. Okay, this is the first clip I recorded of Calvar'ion. It's 300 kills in, and right as I hit record, I get teleblocked for the first time since I started coming back to this boss after the dragon pick. Here for another milestone that's 400 KC, and I've actually been really enjoying doing this boss. I'm thinking I might, my original plan was just to do Calvar'ion until I run out of divines, because I might have already explained this, but I made a certain amount of divine super strength potions for getting a dragon pick, and then I got the dragon pick before I expected to. So I was thinking I would just use those here and then leave, but I'm actually enjoying it. So I'm thinking now that I'll probably stay until I get the Voidwaker piece, assuming I don't go like over 2x rate or something. Probably like stop around 2000 KC if it gets that far. I'll probably just go spend like 10-15 minutes grabbing more crystal shards to make more divines once I run out. Or I could use these super combats, but it feels kind of bad having my strength tick down. These are the super combats that the boss drops. But yeah, I don't like that my strength ticks down, especially because I don't have preserve, which sucks. So yeah, probably just gonna stick here. And then, to be honest, I would also like to do Spindle, but I'm a little bit apprehensive about doing Spindle because then I would be down 2 bag slots to 2 Voidwaker pieces, and I'd also be, what's it called? I'm only 80 attack, and the zombie axe can only train strength when you're using Crush, so I kind of wanted to find some time in the coming weeks to maybe sit at sand crabs and get my attack up, because Spindle's pretty tanky. So if I can find time to do that, maybe I'd do that, but or maybe I would do Spindle, but also, yeah, the -1's not too appealing. But yeah, I'll just see how I feel when I get to that point. My next clip should be unique or 500 KC. I forgot about getting new items. I forgot about recording that. I got a dragon 2-hander. See it right here. I'm gonna up this once I go do the Posani's Nightmare CA, where you kill 2 husks at one time. Might be regular Nightmare, but I'm gonna do the combat task that's before, and then I go alch it. I think it is a stash unit as well. If it's an elite stash that I can fill right now, I might go fill it, because I do need to do Mimic on this account, but I'm gonna see. But yeah, that's the last unique here, other than the, I think it's just Pet, and what's it called? Pet, Champ Scroll, and Voidwaker piece left. Yeah. I got new item. Wait, that is 500 kill. That is all. Okay, so this may be not what you were expecting to see in this clip. Here I'm doing moons, perilous moons, with I got the full rune armor get up on with the zombie axe and mythical cape. And quite the situation going on in the inventory. This is not the first kill, you can tell by the loot in the inventory. But the reason that I was doing this is because in my Discord server, we were running a bingo event for 4 days. And the tile my team was on was Perilous Moons, so I decided to help out on the ultimate, because I was hopping between accounts throughout the event whenever I saw fit. So there's going to be a bunch of clips here of me doing random PVM for the most part on the ultimate, and Moons was one of the tiles. I didn't actually get a lot of loot. I didn't get any uniques. I just got like, I only did a little bit of KC, so I just got some water orbs most notably, which will come in handy. And so I'll just quickly flash all the chests here and move on to the next piece of content. Well, more accurately, I'm going to show 4 chests, because I realize that's not very important to show every single one. So look at all those orbs. It's a lot of money. If I process those, it's like 2,000 gold each. Yeah. And this is a minor update of the bag situation after doing that Perilous Moons, KC. This is some Ultimate Iron Man technology here. So you can actually store a set of the main metals armor in the Warriors Guild. So because I got that rune armor for Perilous Moons, I thought it would be wise to store it here in the Warriors Guild because, well, if I ever want to do Perilous Moons for some reason, I will need it again. So you just put it in there like I did and log out, and then because the guy was still alive, now she's holding your armor. And previously I had black armor in there because that's what she used for getting the defenders, but I decided to put rune in there because I thought maybe it'll be more useful than black armor. Who knows? Yeah, that is all. And the next thing I did for bingo was some corrupted gauntlet. So I'll have a few chests here of corrupted gauntlet to show off. Probably not going to show all the chests actually, it's just money, but I'll show the notable stuff. And the Hunlefs here were actually really brutal. I have pretty low stats. Right now they're about 80 attack, 88 strength, 75 defense, 80 range, 84 magic, so you know, stats all around in the 80s, and oh, tanked a tornado there. But the Hunlefs were really slow, and it was not very fun. I think my PB is like 9 minutes, and I mean I'm not bad at Corrupted Gauntlet. It was just really slow because the stats suck. But I can still do tier 1 armor for anybody who thinks you need to do tier 2 armor, but that's besides the point. And after 9 KC here at the Corrupted Gauntlet, I did get a Crystal Armor Seed, which is what my team needed, which was great. So this was the last kill I did here. And you can see everybody in my clan chat all congratulating me, and you know, very appreciated. However, I did end up alching this Armor Seed, so they might not have liked that as much, but what can you do? I'm an Ultimate Iron Man. I don't want to be lugging around an Armor Seed. Yeah, I figured that I do not need the Armor Seed for now, and I will simply just get more when I need them later, because that would be a -1 slot for a long time for something that doesn't really do much and it's easy to get back. So next up for my team in the bingo was Tob, and as the leech I am, I decided to come on my Ultimate Iron Man. We needed purples from Tob here, so I'm basically just full leeching, doing 5s, just hoping to get a purple, and I got to do 20 KC this way because we went a little bit over rate for the 2 purples we needed. So there's lots of loot for me to show off here. And another thing that I thought would be cool to show off is what the regearing process looks like. So this isn't going to be the same for every ultimate, but of course, because you have to deal with your loot and you have to get your potions, food, and stuff in different ways, it takes longer between raids mostly on an ultimate, which is another reason why I'm very thankful to my team for putting up with me playing on this account. But here you can see I got some rune chain body, so I just went to my house and alched them on the spot. And this was also my first bit of vials of blood, which I was just bagging at the time, because I didn't have enough blood runes to store them in the well on me. So it was just quicker to get into the next raid to just bag them. So I go to Ferox to bag them, and that's what I would do with any loot I'm holding. And the next I go to Warriors Guild to buy some cheesy potatoes, because those are the food of Ultimate Iron Man. And after that, I decant my potions and come back and pot again. And there's little things that you don't really consider, like you need a Draken's Medallion in your inventory, as well as a salve, in addition to your noted potions, whatever they may be, as well as your looting bag, rune pouch, all that. So the inventory is really pretty tough here, at least doing this so early on my account. Luckily Void exists, which makes things a little bit simpler, but here you can see I'll decant my potions, and you might notice that I'm able to just click to use them. I'm actually using a feature in Custom Menu Swapper, which is hotkey use. A friend of mine told me about this. It's actually very useful. So for me, I hold Q, and I get to left click use any item, which is super convenient. I'm a big fan of it. I think most people don't know about that. I think it's more useful for Ultimate Iron Man decanting potions than regular accounts, or even Iron accounts, but it's very nice. And then we go into the next raid, so that is all there. And this next clip is one that's very special to me. Here you can see I actually MVP'd one raid, because if you don't know how MVP works in top, there are points for every room for doing the most damage in parts of room. And my teammates died a lot in this run, so I checked the board, because usually it's kind of a noob thing to do to check the board, but I wanted to see if I MVP'd, because I went deathless and everybody else died a lot, so that was a fun one. Sorry to out everybody on my team, even though I've been saying how much I appreciate them. I went and exposed them, but yeah. Now I don't actually know what happened here with the audio. For some reason it didn't pick up even the game audio in this clip, which I'm not sure why that happened. I understand why it didn't pick up my mic, because I misconfigured my OBS, which, you know, my mistake there. But here we're just finishing off a raid and doing some pog tanking. You can see I didn't do a 4-tick hit on the last hit of Verzik's webs, which means I had to miss a tick starting out pog tanking. And if you're not familiar, pog tanking is just a method of keeping Verzik stationary during her enrage phase without letting the tornado hit you. And here, you know, finish the raid, everybody says good luck, go to the chest, and you see here I have 357 damage out of 3,000, and there's a purple for me. So I was very excited about this. And I milk it a little bit, do a glass box, and I get a rapier, which is really big for the account. Like, for reference, this account has 71 Slayer and like 80 combat stats. I wasn't even sure if I could put the rapier on when I got it. But yeah, now I have a rapier, so thank you to everybody who carried me. And yeah, that's a really big unlock. It's a really big unlock for the account. That is all. And after the raid, after we got the rapier, we did one more raid and got another purple for somebody else, which was all we needed, because we needed 2 top purples. And after that, I decided to store the rapier in what the Ultimate Iron Man community is called cold storage, which is where you go to Perilous Moons and you go to the ice boss, which steals your main hand weapon, and you log out. And then after it's taken your weapon, you log out. And then the weapon is kept there, so you can see I have nothing equipped now, and the weapon is there until I go back to get it. And it's, as far as I'm aware, as far as anybody's aware, completely safe for long-term storage of 1 main hand item. So I decided to put the rapier there because I figure it's my most valuable main hand and I'm not going to use it anytime soon, so might as well put it in the safest place for it. Yeah, and then after that I death pile, so I'll show off all the items I have after that. And here are all the items I have at this point after death banking. Not death piling, I said death piling the last clip, but I meant death bank. The most notable things here are that the Wines of Zamorak are getting pretty high. 777 of them. I got 97 vials. Actually, I think I got a little bit more because I put the first drop I got directly into the well. And then I still have 134 orbs and 60 battle staffs, so that's some good money there. And I got mahogany seeds from Tob, which is great farming XP, as well as 302 rune ore, which is massive. I actually don't have the smithing level to process that yet. I need 5 more, I believe, so I was going to get that smithing level as soon as I have the chance. So probably after I finish the Calvar'ion Voidwaker piece after this bingo events. But there's not much more to show on this account from the bingo. Okay, so this is actually going to be the last clip that's technically from the bingo, I believe. So everything after this will just be back to Calvar'ion until I get the Voidwaker piece for the most part. I wanted to show off what it's like to repile for wilderness bosses on an ultimate, because I think it's very different than something you'd ever do on any other account. So here I'm coming back after having finished a trip at the wilderness bosses. You can see I have 10 minutes left on my death pile. This is actually really playing it safe. You could definitely do like 5 more minutes, but I tend to err on the side of caution. And so what I'm doing is I'm dying with all the items that I brought into the wilderness first. I picked up the locator orb from the existing pile, and it's taking a while here because there was nothing to pickpocket that was in a spot I liked, so sometimes I'll just let the guard kill me, although I do prefer pickpocketing. And then what I'll do after that is pick up everything that's in this pile over here, which is everything that I don't want to bring to the wilderness. And then, yeah, so just pick it all up. And what's really convenient here is if you have a small enough amount of items to not need to do this step twice. Because, for example, say I had a lot of items in my inventory plus a looting bag's worth, I would have to pile twice here, which would mean, suiciding twice, which is obviously annoying. And then a few of the items are equipable, so I'll equip those, which means I actually have a good amount of slots left, and I pick up the loot from the last trip while before I pile again, so that way I'm not risking whatever I got on the last trip. Or actually, right here I needed to buy runes, so I go buy runes, but I'll skip past this. So yes, after I buy the runes, you can actually see what looks like an Ultimate Iron Man a few seconds ago at the portal. You can always tell. They have a look to them. Ultimate Iron Man wears certain armors. I've gotten pretty good at spotting them. But I'll just pick up all the loot from the last trip. Here I can recall myself deciding, what should I keep these oak planks? Because they're kind of a pain in the ass to sell. I don't think I'm going to. I was earlier in the video, but now that I've actually gotten a big influx of money from the random PVM I did during the bingo, from the CG and the TOBs and all of that, so I think I'm going to be able to have a lot more freedom on what I hold, which is a nice position to be in. So then I actually just suicide again, and then that puts all the stuff on the ground here, and then I can just left click this other pile here, which has everything I need, and I go right back into the wilderness. And one of the little tricks that you get to use here is putting all of your potions, or not all of your potions, rather, taking a portion of the potions that you want to use in the wilderness and decanting them to a different dose than the ones that you're saving. That way it's easier to repile. So like you'll see in the pile that I bring into the wilderness, I have like 50 4-dose potions of each of the ones I'm bringing into the wilderness, whereas they're in 2 doses in the part that doesn't go into the wilderness. So you just risk a small portion of them to make re-gearing faster, rather than the alternative would be decanting them, unnoting them before you pile, which really makes the entire thing more complicated. And here I see this guy and I say, looks like UIM, because he kind of looks like an Ultimate Iron Man, but he actually wasn't. So kind of embarrassing for him not having Blorva. I think he should feel bad about that personally. But yeah, that's all I've got. Next will probably be Calvar'ion milestones. Yeah, and here I'm flaming him. You really shouldn't do that. You might get muted. But yeah. Okay, so I kept some of the crystal shards that I got during the gauntlets I did during the competition I was in, and I've used them to make some more divine super strength, so that'll get me through Calvar'ion, and I believe I am going to do Spindle at this point, so I made plenty. Hopefully that'll be a lot, or enough for however long I need, because I'm dropping the rest of the dust. I didn't want to create, I didn't want to make all of these potions into divines, because I figure, you know, I don't want to finish both the Voidwaker pieces and have a bunch of divines that I'm not going to use, because then I would probably just end up dropping them at that point. So yeah, now I got nice 66 more. That's 66 times 4 times 5. A good, that's 22 hours of divines if I did my quick math right, so that is what I'll be using. Hopefully that lasts the rest of the grind. I think that's like, I think that's less than what I'll expect to need, but I'll just have to see. That is all. So as a continuation of the technical difficulties I've been having throughout the creation of this video, I lost a pretty notable clip. Right now what's playing is me using the bones from Calvar'ion, and I'll flash on screen right now why I'm using the bones. So yes, on kill count 651, I got the Voidwaker blade at Calvar'ion. I had my OBS replay buffer running, and I even like remembered that it was on and said stuff into the microphone after I got it, and then clicked save on the clip. But I think that I force closed OBS while I hadn't stopped the replay buffer when I turned off my computer for the night, and that for some reason nulled or like corrupted the file or deleted it. I'm not sure, but I don't have it, which is sad. I would have been fine even if it didn't have the mic, but yeah, I don't have it at all. So I do have the Calvar'ion Voidwaker piece, and I have processed the dragon bones from Calvar'ion, which was the only like notable loot that needed to be processed. And then yeah, now I'll move on to Spindle. I'm gearing up here to start doing Spindle for the first time, and I can already tell this is going to be the worst of wildy bosses, or at least it's going to be a lot worse than Calvar'ion, because I moved my alt here, the scout alt, like a few minutes ago, and I've already seen two PKers hop here, and the Voidwaker piece is selling on the GE for like 50 something mil, whereas the Calvar'ion one is not even 10 mil, so there's gonna be a lot of action here, but gotta get done. The run also sucks compared to Calvar'ion. Like the Carolinger teleport puts you right there for Calvar'ion, but this one is not so great. But yeah, see what happens. Actually, and I have decided to buy 2,000 knives because you need to kill the little things that Spindle spawns. So knives are the obvious choice because you attack fast with them. So I went for 2,000 of them, and I accidentally just world hopped. I have a keybind to teleport to Prifddinas on my Concape on Q, and it's also my world cycle hop keybind, so I teleported to Prifddinas and hopped in the same tick, but yeah, just gonna kill a bunch of Spindle now. Okay, so today is the day that the run energy changes have come out, and I just did a couple hours of Spindle in the morning here, and I'm going to set up for Nightmare Zone. And I thought I would give a little bit of a comment on the run energy changes, because obviously a big deal. This update actually had a lot of things that I find notable in it. There was the buffs to run energy, which has been very impactful at Spindle. I was like basically permanently low run energy when I was doing it yesterday, and today when I did it, I didn't even go low run energy once, so that's been very nice. I think I have a little bit of an unpopular opinion on the run energy changes. I think that they kind of take some of the spirit out of the game, because I think that run energy is an interesting mechanic, which has been overly hated on because it sucks at low levels. Like, I have nothing against buffing run energy at low levels, and I'm happy they did, but yeah, I don't think it needed any change at 99, but the drain rate on run energy has changed a lot, and that is the world we live in. So what that means for this account is, well, first of all, I saved energy potions for Sepulcher, and apparently I won't be needing them. So, because of course your energy drain's slower now, so that's actually a pretty nice change. I am happy with that, but I'm not sure if I'll need any stamps. That's like the biggest thing I'm unsure of, so I think I'm going to be doing force spawning Marks of Grace while I do Sepulcher, and I'll just see how many I end up with, and if need be, I'll just do post 99 agility for more Marks of Grace, because I'm totally fine with that. But yeah, just have to see. Okay, I have been dreading recording this clip, and I lost a lot of motivation to even make and / finish this video, because once again I lost the replay buffer for me getting this Voidwaker gem right here. I got a Voidwaker gem on 164 Spindle KC on the ultimate, and I lost the replay buffer again. I think there's even one more replay buffer I lost after this, but this one was really a kick in the stomach because I thought I was doing everything right, and the file still got messed up, so I've basically just sworn off of using replay buffer at this point because the clips keep getting corrupted. So yeah, I apologize for not having a live clip. I thought it was a pretty good clip as well, but I ended up spooning this Voidwaker piece, so my time in the wilderness was cut short by this. And then, yeah, next I decided to get my Mage Arena 2 cape so I could be done with wilderness content for the foreseeable future. Following the Spindle Voidwaker piece, I decided to get my Mage Arena 2 cape because I didn't have it yet. So I just went into the wilderness, cast the spells, went and killed the bosses. It was not that bad. And I went for the Zamorak cape because I figured that it'll match well with the Bloodbark armor, which is what I will be acquiring next, and what I'll be using a lot for Slayer. Yeah. Now in getting 89 smithings, I'm doing 89 smithing for rune swords to use my noted rune ore that I have to clear up a space and get some money. So I just wanted to note that I am using Magic Imbue while I do Giant's Foundry, and it's working very well because it actually doesn't break your red X on the machine here. So like you'll see when it's off cooldown in a second here, like about to come off cooldown. I cast Magic Imbue, and I'm still using the machine, which is great. So I'm gonna get some Magic XP while I'm here. You can't use your staff and offhand, so you pay a little bit more, but I'm willing to front that cost because I have plenty of gold now that I've done all that bossing I did. Yeah. Well, this is about normal at this point, but I forgot to record myself getting this gout tuber. I had two accounts chopping at the trees while I was doing blast furnace, and I set them up and I got a gout tuber in like 5 minutes. I hadn't even hit record yet. Totally forgot. So now I'm going to do that diary step. So that's pretty happy. I got that quick. That's all. With this sword, that's 89 smithing. So now I'm gonna use this 300 rune ore I have. Boom. That's the rune ore process. Now I got like 3.5 mil more gold. Now I'm gonna do some diaries. Now, I expect this to be a controversial section of this video, but I did decide to purchase two 100% purple chance mega scales, meaning that some people would run me through high scale chambers of Xeric raids, while I would basically just AFK hit the mobs and then fish while they do Ulm, and they would then funnel all of the points to me so that I get purples for little work. This is something Jagex has recently tried to nerf, but was not very successful with, and I thought that because they took some action, I might as well purchase a few, just in case the opportunity goes away eventually. But a lot of people morally object to doing this. However, I choose to play the game as it allows me to, rather than along a set of made-up rules, so I consider mega scales to be kosher because I had the GP to do them, so I decided to buy a few. Anyways, this footage is from around the end of the first one I did, and I did end up getting a purple, so I will now show my reaction and the purple I got. Okay, it's dead. I think it's a white. No, it's a purple. I'm gonna open the chest. Oh my god! So I did end up getting an Elder Maul from this first mega scale that I ordered, and this is a pretty massive unlock. Very lucky item to get out of my first mega. I definitely wanted a deck scroll more than anything, but don't look a gift horse in the mouth, as they say, because this is a massive skip. I mean, I don't have to do any shamans, which is really nice. And then for the next one, I was hoping I would get a dex, but I will show the next clip of what I got. And the second purple was Ancestral Legs. I didn't remove any audio. I was extremely tired when we were doing this raid, and I didn't say anything until after the clip ended, or until after what I included of the clip. I just said, I'm not surprised. And the reason I said that is because I have like 25 purples worth of points or something on my main iron, and I don't have a single piece of Ancestral. So I was very much, the superstitious part of me was very much expecting to get a piece of Ancestral on the ultimate. And I'm once again a little bit bummed I didn't get a prayer scroll, but gift horse, yada yada. This is a great item. I'll be keeping it for a long time. I've been very tempted to put it in the house, but I know I shouldn't. So yeah, this will be an item I'll be keeping until I finish Ancestral, most likely. Yeah, and this is likely the last mega I'll do. I don't really want to spend any more GP on them, and I do only spend my GP on them, for the record. I don't use real money. That is my moral line, just because I think it makes me enjoy the game more. And after I did these megas, or rather, I was doing the megas while I was working on this. I decided to do Shades of Morton Zealot set as well as the Bloody Notes. I already have the Amulet of the Damned in the Arclight stash, so I was just here to get Bloody Notes, a set of Blood Bark, an extra set of Split Bark if I ever want to do it, the Elite Clue steps, and all of the Zealot's pieces. So I think I only have the clip of the Zealot's top. That's what I can find right now, at least. And so I'll just flash the pictures of all the other ones. And yeah, I ended up finishing that grind. That's about the last thing I did. Yo, that's the last piece of the Zealot set, so I'm done now. However, I turned off my collection log pop-up when I did that mega scale for the Elder Maul, but nice, I'm done. Time to make the Blood Bark. You just use it on this altar here. use the split bark pieces. And it costs some blood runes, but well worth it, because this is going to be the mage armor I'm using for a long time. Boom, there it is. Here's the Zealot set. I really like how it looks. It's basically just, for the purposes of this account, it's basically just a transmog, or like a, what is it, like a better looking proselyte armor, because it's not actually super useful, but it does look pretty cool. I'll probably use it for Slayer a good bit. Yeah. And with that, I will be ending this first episode of the series, first official episode. I apologize for the technical difficulties for probably like the 5th time now. And I've been trying to get better at editing, creating videos as I go about this, so I mean any feedback would be appreciated, and thank you for watching if you got this far. Mwah.